Sorry, y'all. My bad. What's up, everybody? I haven't done this. This is interesting. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we gonna make this thing work. What's up, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know. I got two different screens up, so I'm not really sure what that looks like on your situation. But if you don't know by now, my name is Samantha Lee. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try to post this I didn't do a great job of advocating for this live. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm just gonna say live. It doesn't. So I'm gonna do. Yeah, I don't know if I like this. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it live now. So anyway, I'm gonna just put it on. I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. Is there two lives? There is. There's supposed to be like a long way, and then like you could see it on your iPhone, and then there's the other way. Like that's what it's supposed to do. I thought I would try it out. I mean, I don't know. This may not be, I don't know. I may never do this again, but it was a new option on StreamYard. So I was like, hey, what does it look like on for you guys? I don't know. What do you guys see? I don't know if you guys can tell me what you see on there. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay. So I'm also gonna go live on TikTok. That's how it looks. It looks okay. I don't know. Y'all. I don't be knowing. I just be living my life. I'll be trying to do. I would just be trying to do new things, try new things. Whew, okay. Oh, we adore you. Okay, that works. Set. Okay. I'm gonna go live on. All right. So I'm live on everything. I think I'm live on. This looks kind of blurred. Ooh. I don't know why it looked like that. It's supposed to be bright. Okay. Yeah. And okay. So we're live. So anyway, guys, I'm on 3 screens now. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, and I think I'm on like 2 different things on YouTube. For those who are coming in on the TikTok track, I'll kind of bounce in and out. So you guys can see me in 3 different ways. We're gonna make this thing happen. Okay. So today's episode, you guys, is about the lessons I have learned post divorce. Now, of course, you guys, I don't particularly like talking about this, specific subject like that because in the past, like I just haven't wanted to talk about it. A lot of people want to talk about divorce and all the things, but I do at this point where God is taking me in my journey. I really do feel like at this point I wanted to talk about some things because I was talking to somebody else about it, and I was like, you know what? I really do want to talk more about what I've learned because it's not what you would expect. Then I got to go backwards to go forward. So that's where we're gonna start. I got to go backwards to go forwards. So, if y'all, okay, yeah. So with that, what does it look like for you guys? Is it like 2 different screen? Like they said, it's like a Mars thing. Like, is it supposed to be like you can? So for those who are on TikTok, I'm trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing because they have this new little thing going on. And I was trying to, figure it out, but it's besides the point. So anyway, besides it doesn't matter. Neither here nor there. I am talking about lessons I've learned post divorce. For those who don't know, I have been divorced for a period of time. And I I want to talk about the lessons I've learned after it, because there's things about marriage that only divorce can teach you. And I was, yeah, that's where I'm gonna say. So we're gonna get into that today. But before I get into that, I want to first thank everybody that supports me. There are people that reach out on Cash App, that they give on the lives, whether they do on the TikTok, what's up TikTok, or that they do on YouTube. You guys give all the time. You hit the Cash App, you give on the lives, and I just want to thank you guys for your support. It means the world to me. Means the world to me. So that's that. So anyway, I want to go ahead and thank you guys. If I don't catch, like, you give something on something and I don't see it in the moment, it's because I'm literally like talking. Because I'm talking, I'm not necessarily able to see it, but I want to thank you guys for that. Let me actually, I didn't get to do this here. Gosh, I hate it. Yeah, so I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna try to, if somebody on here, I'm gonna pin the comment. Ooh. And we adore you. So I'm getting myself together, y'all. I apologize. I should have done this before. But anyway, I don't know how to. Yeah, I guess that's how you. Okay. So anyway, back to what we're saying. So we are on and we are popping. Okay. So this is, oh, hey, Jordan. Look, guys, it's Jordan's way. What's up, Jordan? Jordan's world. What's up? So anyway, guys, back on what's up. If you guys don't know me by now, my name is Samantha Lee. I've been doing YouTube, Instagram. I really have been on YouTube since 2022, the end of 2022. Yes, the end of 2022. Into 2023, I started my YouTube channel, or got really serious about it. And so I've been building the channel since then. And I've been building TikTok since 2024. I think it was 2024. It was 2024 because I was like, let me get serious about 2024. So I did that. And yeah, so that is, and then the other channels I've been doing for a couple years. I'm a therapist by trade. I also infuse my spiritual experience, my therapist experience, my personal experience. I infuse that into everything that I make, and I make the content that I make on each channel. If you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So that being said, let me get into what today's episode is today. So the surprising lessons of love post-divorce. So like I said, and I pray that God is in this because I don't want to do this. Some of the lessons that I learned, one of the main lessons that I really want to talk about first and foremost, I got to go back to go forward. So if you guys don't want to listen to what I'm saying, here's what you got to know. For those of you guys who want to be disrespectful today's not the day. I'm going to block and review. You don't have to watch me. If you want to watch me, watch me. TikTok, if you want to watch me, you can watch me. If you don't want to watch me, you can always exit and go to, there's lots of options on TikTok. You do not have to watch me at all. And I'm okay with that. You actually don't have to be here. I'm good with that. Very good. I don't like the whole be disrespectful. No, like you can go elsewhere. It's fine. And for YouTube, same thing goes here. If you guys are disrespectful, Sam's not, I'm not with it today. I'm sorry. Sorry, beloved. We just not, I'm not playing those types of games. I will block and rebuke. It's blocking and rebuking, and that's the type of time I'm on today. That's Sam time. Sam time is like we're blocking and rebuking. Okay? Okay. Beautiful, people. Beautiful. So with that being said, Today, we're talking about the surprising lessons of love post-divorce. This is a very sensitive topic for me, which is why I might be a little bit more like, and that's because I don't like talking about the subject, but I can't ignore the reality of the fact that I've been divorced. And there's lessons I've learned in this last year. A lot. I've learned a lot in this last year. God has taught me a lot, and there's things that I just didn't know. And so I'm going to go through the back to get to the forward, because I think that this is important, because it's countercultural, right? I'm going to teach you what culture taught me, and I'm also going to teach you what God taught me, because what I didn't know that I now know, I'm teaching through my content. And I would hope that, I don't care who's watching, I don't care where you are or whether you're a female or you're a male, I hope you understand, honestly, God cares about marriage. He cares about covenant. And I was not as aware of God's heart for marriage. Paul in the New Testament says, hey, if you don't have self-control, if you can't be by yourself, if you need to be with a woman, and women, if you need to be with a man, get married. Otherwise, if you can be abstinent or you can be celibate for the rest of your life, you should be single, because then you can focus on the things of God and the things of this kingdom. But if you can't, get married. That's what Paul says. Okay, because he says that one of the most important things that you could possibly do is focus on the will of God for your life. And I think personally, where I've honestly, I was raised in a household, both of my parents were divorced. They had been divorced multiple times. And, it was, they had kind of a messy divorce. And so I kind of grew up in this mentality. I really didn't want to get married. I didn't, because what I saw from marriage and what I saw from divorce was pain, right? I saw a lot of pain, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just focus on my career. And my mom was really big about my education. My dad was I have such a great father. My dad was my A1 day one, was very much encouraging of me pursuing my career. And that was the big thing. Like, I didn't think about marriage like that. I didn't think about, I thought about, okay, I finished getting my bachelor's. Now I'm going to get my master's, and blah, 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 blah. It wasn't until after I got my master's, I started working my first job. And when I got my first job, a woman stopped me, Dr. P, I'll never forget. Dr. P stopped me in an office, and she said this to me. She said, close the door. And I said, okay, I'll close the door. So I closed the door. I sat down with her, and she sat down and she told me, she's like, well, she asked me first. She's like, you're a pretty girl. Are you dating? And I said, yeah, I'm dating, because I was dating somebody at the time. And I was like, yeah, I'm dating. She's like, you're going to marry him? I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to marry him, but I am dating. I got a man now, but I don't know if I'm going to marry him. And again, you got to think about 20. I was like 24 at the time, 25. And she's like, at this point in my life, at this point in my career, she said, the thing that matters to me the most is not and she's Dr. P. She's Dr. P. Okay, Dr. P. So Dr. P was married to another Dr. P. And she said to me that the most important thing at this point in her life, at this point in her career, was her marriage, was her family that she built with her husband. And she basically said, don't waste your time. Don't waste your life doing what a lot of these young girls do. Get married, have a family. And I was like, she's like, and if you don't believe me, look at all the women that you're around that are not married, that are all they focus on is their career. She's like, look at them. And let me be honest with you, family. They look miserable. Can I be honest? It was 24. It was like 20. I was 24 years old. And I was like, wow. So needless to say, I had that conversation. I might have started working in 2015. I was engaged in 2016. Yeah. I was engaged in 2016. 1 year later, I was engaged. Not to the same guy, to a guy, another guy I dated after that. But I got married. It definitely put something under me. But here's what I will tell you, though. Here's what I will tell you is that what I still didn't know at that time was what it meant to God. I understood what she was telling me. I understood, like, yes, family, legacy, got it. I understood that. I did not understand what it meant to be somebody's wife. I had no idea. Can I be honest with you? I had no idea. I knew how to be somebody's girlfriend. I didn't know how to be somebody's wife. Right? And so what I did was, when I got into a marriage, I became everything that person wanted me to be, because I didn't know who to be. I didn't know what to be, because I didn't know what it meant to be, what that role looked like. I remember one of the first conversations I had was like, what does it mean to be a wife? What do I do? Like, how do I do this? I had lived with anybody before. I was so green. And so I became everything this person wanted. And this person may not have known exactly what he wanted. He didn't know. I didn't know. We're just, and so then in that course of that relationship, obviously things did not work out. Things went left, and I'm not going to go into why or how or what. I'm not doing that. That's not what this live is about. Will never be about that. I've told you guys on multiple platforms. I don't care what it, I believe that no matter whether or not the relationship goes left, goes right, good women cover. You cover your man. Even if he's no longer your man, you still cover that person. It's not everybody's information as to why the relationship goes left or goes right. So you will not have me here talking about why something went left or something went right. That's not what I'm going to do. I don't care what that person says or doesn't say. That's not what I believe God has called me to do, because I feel like we lack integrity today. When somebody get mad at you, then you throw all the integrity out the window and you talk about them, like they're the worst thing in the world. But if you talked to them a year ago, they was the best thing since sliced bread. Like, we ain't got no loyalty in this society. We just be throwing people under the bus because we mad at them. And to me, that's not real. That's not where I come from. I come from New Jersey. Well, I don't know if it's Jersey people think like this. I don't know if it's an East Coast thing. Well, no, it's not East Coast. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just like how you're raised, but we're just not taught to do that, right? So you're not going to have that on this live. That's not what this is about. On the other side of the divorce, Soraya, what did I say, Mama? Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
Since I can't bring it upstairs.
Okay, that's fine.
Can you bring it upstairs?
No, because I don't want it to make a mess. If you're not going to make a mess, you can take a paper towel and not make a mess.
Is there a salad?
Not right now. I'll make it after. So anyway, after because here's the thing, family, what you have to know about a situation with divorce is that the first feeling you have is that you never want to do this again. That's the first feeling you have. You're like, I never want to do this again. Then you kind of calm down, right? So after about a year or two, you calm down a little bit and you're like, you know what? Soraya, you can go upstairs with it. You can go upstairs. Just don't make a mess, okay? Don't make a mess. What are you saying? What are you saying no to, Mama?
I'm saying no because you think I'm going to drop.
I don't think you're going to drop it. I just don't want you to make a mess. Once you finish the pizza, you can go upstairs with the chips, okay? So anyway, next thing I was saying. That's what happens. Then a couple years later, you calm down a little bit. You're like, you know what? Because I'll tell you this, whether you are male or whether you are female, I don't care who you are. If you've been married once, you probably want to get married again. I haven't, even if you've been hurt deep down inside, you may not admit it, you may not tell anybody this, I'm just being honest with you. Deep down inside, there's this, because you now had this companionship. You now had somebody that's there with you every day, somebody you're living life with, doing life with, that support, that companionship, that, okay, you go home and this is the person you're going home to. There is something about that. Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. So with that being said, as I kind of got out of that, I wasn't as like, no, I was like, okay, calm down. Then you start to think, you know what have I learned? Because that's a healthy way, family. Let's just keep it real. When you first get out of a situation, yes, this is not the time to go back into one. But after, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it's a woman, usually within that first year, she's ready to get married again. A lot of women, they're within the first, like a year later, they ready for the next person. Men, it's a solid about 2 years. You might get a year and a half, 2 years, but men usually around the 2-year postmark, they're like, you know what? I kind of like having a family with somebody, and the idea of legacy and a wife. And this is the woman that has my last name. She's my woman. This is my woman who I'm having my kids with, who I'm used to. We structured. It's deeper than that. I go to bed with her. I wake up with her. She's my person. Men like having their person. I know that today's society, that may not be the popular thing to say, but it is true. Men like having their person. They like saying, that's mine. Y'all can have everybody else, but that one is mine. And so a lot of men, I don't care what society, I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't like that society. Oh, don't get married, because marriage in and of itself is not a bad thing. Who we choose to marry can sometimes make it a bad thing, right? We make the entire union and covenant ugly because we've been hurt or we've been traumatized. But the reality of it is, it's not really the covenant that's bad. It's not that it's wrong. We chose wrong, right? And we have to take accountability for that. They may be good people. They just may not be God's best for you. And that's okay, right? And that's fine. We don't have to demonize them. We could just say, you know what? I kind of felt like this probably wasn't the right person for me. Maybe next time I need to do this. And this is why I'm doing this. I know my platform has a lot of men and women that watch it. I don't like when we say, oh, all women are bad, or oh, all men are bad. Women are this, men are that, because there are good men and there are good women. Then I don't like the all bad, all good mentality, because it's not a healthy way to look at it. For those of us who basically have gone through a situation, you've been hurt really badly, I understand. But sometimes we have to look at it like, okay, what can I do differently so that I don't produce the same result? It's not, oh, all women, this. No, because guess what? There's a woman that might have had a bad experience. Guys, come on. Let's keep it real. For the men who want to keep it real, there are some women who may have some negative things to say about you when you were in a season recovering from a heartbreak. I know some good men, solid men, became great husbands, but in one season, after recovering from a heartbreak, they were the worst person you want to be with, because they wasn't even thinking about being with nobody. That was just the you that was hurting, the you that was recovering. That's not a fair assessment of who you are as a partner. That's just who you were in that moment. It's the same with me. In one season of my life, if I'm going one way, you want to go the other way. One season of my life, I am not the woman you want to be with. But the woman I am today, oh, you want to be with her. But again, it's about the fact of the matter is, we can't just always say all bad, all good, because all of us got a little bad in us, and all of us may have a lot of good, little good. We all got varying amounts. It's spectrum. None of us are perfect. All of us have work to do. So anyway, I say all that to say, I don't like this idea from our society, even from people that are divorcees, like, oh, it's bad. Marriage is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It is. It's a beautiful. I look forward to having a man that I'm going home, that's with me at home, and I'm cooking for, and I'm with, and we watch shows together, and we go places together, and I know him, he know me. We don't there's no secret. Like I can't wait to feel that comfortable with a man again. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to wake up and go to sleep with him in the shower. Those are beautiful things. When we are able to really have that family with somebody, that's a beautiful thing. You having babies with this man, that's a beautiful thing. I don't like that we've made covenant bad because we've done it wrong. That's the point of this. I'm not going to make the entire union wrong because I got it wrong. I long to be somebody's wife. I do. I am somebody's wife. I just don't know who my husband is. we just not there yet. We just haven't. But I long for that. I want that. I desire that. I desire covenant. I don't desire this little dating in and out. No, I don't desire that. I don't want that. You can keep that. I want real. I want something real. You want something real? I want something real. I don't want nothing like the flugazy. You can have that. I don't want that. But anyway, let's keep going. So one of the first lessons that I've learned on the other side of divorce, the number one lesson I learned, and this is after me healing, family, again, it is important, it is imperative that after you go through a divorce, you need to heal. You need to take time to heal. When I say heal, I mean by yourself heal, not heal underneath somebody, because that's not healing. Healing is not I'm up under somebody. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Did I? Oh, Mark, let me say, Mark supported me. Thank you, Mark. Mark says celebrating tonight with you and the fam. First ever dinner in my new house. Thank you, Sam. You've been big help in getting me here. Why, thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. Thank you. So anyway, going back to what I'm saying. The number one thing that I had to learn, because again, what people do a lot of times is because they're hurting and you're used to being with somebody, you then go find somebody. That is the worst thing you can do post-divorce. If you're not fully divorced, if you haven't gone through all the paperwork, then I'm gonna say this very strongly: do not date any man, any woman that has not finished the paperwork. That process is a process. Let them finish the course. Let them finish what they need to do. Let them finish it. Don't get involved in that. That's not the place you want to get into. I don't care how long it takes. Let them go through that. Okay? Number one. If someone has unfinished business, let them finish their business. Because now you involved, and this could be in biblical Christian, that's adultery. That's still somebody's husband. Somebody can still say, that's my husband or that's my wife. No, you do not want to be involved with that. You want to be, it is done. It is finished. We are separate. It's a mistake when you get involved. And what I hate about today's society is that we got people that want to brag about being somebody's side chick, brag about being somebody. How are we bragging about being somebody's side chick or bragging about being somebody's side dude? How is that? Where is honor and integrity in that? We can't find our own man or we can't find our own woman. We got to be somebody's side piece. No, we got to do better in today's society, but that's besides the point. I'm gonna get out of that. Next thing I want to say is this: marriage is not about your happiness. Marriage is not about your happiness. We should not be getting divorced because we're not happy. Happy can change throughout the day. I can go to Target, not find parking, and I'm suddenly not happy. My husband in the future is not responsible for my happiness. I am. Now, he can contribute. He can do things to make me unhappy. And I could do some things to make him unhappy. And we're responsible for those things. But a lot of people are looking for other people to fulfill them, and that's not their job. Marriage is not an institution to fulfill you. Marriage is a mission. Marriage is legacy being built. It's not about you and it's not about me. What I didn't know was that I've been taught all throughout my life, you're not happy, you're not happy, you're not happy. Now I had standing, I had biblical standing to leave my situation. But even in still, I had been taught prior to, I had been taught prior to my situation that you leave or you stay or whatever the case may be based upon happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness is a fleeting emotion. It is not something that you get with somebody for and you don't leave them for. My man he's not responsible for my happiness. I am. If I put that responsibility on another human being, I've missed the mark. I should never give another mere mortal that kind of power. Oh, I'm just not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. He doesn't make me feel pretty anymore. Here's the thing. If I got me a good man, he just don't say I'm pretty. I feel pretty. My husband don't have to, my next man, he don't have to tell me I'm pretty. I'll find out that I'm pretty. I feel pretty. he don't have to. He could compliment me every once in a while, make a sound or something. You know, make me feel like you want me. That's all I ask. Make me feel like you desire me, but you ain't got to tell me I'm pretty every day. I've seen people say, "Oh, well, you don't tell me I'm pretty. You didn't tell me I was pretty on Thursday. And that's why I can't do this anymore." That's not that man's responsibility. That's not that man's responsibility. Men, it's not a woman's responsibility to make you feel like you man enough. It's not a woman's responsibility to say, you're the man. Now, are we supposed to be helpmates? Yes. But there are men that look for women to fulfill them. A woman is not who fulfills you. She adds to what you already have. She's addition. If you're with a woman that subtracts, then we got to talk about something different. Women, same thing. If you with a man that subtracts, it's something different. But we need to be coming into relationship fulfilled. A lot of us are coming in as broken cisterns, and we're looking for somebody to make us something. And we need to be those things on our own, or it will never be enough. If I'm looking to Joe Schmo or Blue Pillow, if I'm looking at Blue Pillow, and I'm saying Blue Pillow, what? And I'm saying Blue Pillow. I want Blue Pillow. Sorry, y'all. My chicken, I forgot that I'm my bad. I'm cooking chicken. So I'm listening to the chicken while I'm talking to you. If I say Blue Pillow, I want you to make me feel good enough. Right? Blue Pillow, I need you to make me feel like I'm a woman. I need you to make me feel like I'm the prettiest thing in the room. I need you to make, you know what God told me the other day, family? I had a dream, y'all. I'm be honest with you. I had a dream, and God showed me, like, I don't know. God got my next husband. He got his back. God got my next husband's back. Okay, this is a man of the Lord for sure. Because God told me it's not his responsibility. You need to check your little possessive jealousy streak because it's not his responsibility. Like I saw a video. It was this is a dream. My husband was working out in the gym. I'm working out the same gym as my husband. And I don't It's not clear. I just know it's him, right? Even if it was clear, I wouldn't tell y'all. But anyway, we're at the gym. And this person, there was a woman that was video cameraing herself with my husband. And I wasn't there. And so immediately my behind felt jealous. Now, mind you, family, this is a dream. This is not real life. This is a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream. This was God checking me, because Sam would be like, and I probably wouldn't tell that man. I probably just deal with it with me. I'm feeling like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. But God was showing me, in a relationship, it's not up to me. It's not up to that man to make me feel secure. Like in the dream, my husband literally jumps over the woman. He jumps over her. Like God was showing me, you trust me. It's not about him and it's not about me. Do I trust God? If I believe God brought us together, which I'm waiting on God. Family, if there's any woman on the internet that's waiting on God, I'm waiting on God. That means I'm not dating. No. I'm waiting on the Lord. The Lord is going to bring me my husband. It is what it is. I'm not. Because I'm waiting on God. I want to do it God's way. I am fully surrendered to God's way. Period. I want what God has for me. Period. With that being said, if I trust God, I can't allow my fleshly emotions to get in the way. Because of course, if it's a man of God, he's going to do it. He's going to do it God's way. Right. But I say all of these little things to say, a lot of us, because we go into relationships looking for people to do what we should be doing for ourselves, we now have these expectations of others and they never fulfill them. Why? Because they never were meant to. You were supposed to do that for yourself. I've heard people say, oh, I always check my man's phone. I don't care who he is. I'm checking his phone. That's not healthy. I'm not going into relationships checking somebody's phone. They didn't do anything. Now I'm bleeding on someone who didn't cut me. That's not healthy behavior. That's insecure. You have an insecurity issue. I've told this to women all the time. I've said this a lot. I've said this to women a lot. I hope you're listening to me. Women have a bad habit of bringing up different women. Bad habit. So what was your ex like? What does she look like? What is your ex? What does she do? What is she up to? So what happened with your ex? Was she pretty? Can you show me a picture of her? You have now, that man might not have even thought about his ex for the last 3 months. He might have said, I have blocked this whole woman out. I just saw this girl like your photo. Have you seen her? She's like really pretty. And they're doing that to test you. That is not a smart move, ladies. That's dumb. This man might not even have known. This man might not even have known that woman was following him or liked his photo. Now you done put him on game. You're like, oh, she is bad. Holy mackerel. Hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Who is that? Oh. Yeah, I don't know her. I don't know her. Never. I've never seen her before. Never seen her before. I'll see her again though. You know what I'm saying? You don't put this man. Here's one of the things I will tell you. For women, I don't care who the man is. I'm not gonna act unless he might. I'm not gonna act. I'm not. Because now at that point, I've now put myself in another category. I may tell my homegirls about it. I might write it in my diary. I might even talk to the Lord about it, but I'm not gonna tell him about it. I'm not. Because here's the thing, family, what we've made our relationships about is physical. Like it's a physical competition. You have to know something about physical competitions, right? There's always going to be a woman that has something you don't have. Like I'll just, since we're here, I'm a curvy woman. I'm not the curviest woman, but I'm curvy. I'm just not the curviest woman. There is inevitably somebody that's going to be curvier than me. I'm petite, but not petite. I'm like in between. I'm not the thickest woman in the world. I'm not the skinniest woman in the world. I'm just like, I'm in between. I was literally in the gym the other day. I was thinking about that. I was like in the gym and there was these women and they were super fit. There's very, very few times I walk up in the gym and I say, oh, wow. No, y'all fit. Like abs on abs, whatever the case may be. They were swimmers. Swimmers' bodies are different than, my body. My body's not a swimmer body. Period. So I'm seeing that and I'm like, dang, like they made me feel like I need to lose weight. Like they was small. They probably had very little body fat, in my opinion. They probably very little body fat. It made me feel like I need to go go on a diet or something. I was like, you know what? No, because I'm in a different lane. I'm not a swimmer, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, besides the point. Whole point is this. I know that regardless of who, there's gonna be a woman that's skinnier than me, a woman who's gonna be thicker than me, a woman who's gonna have longer hair than me, a woman who's gonna have different nose than me, different eyes than me, different this than me. We can't, when we do this whole physical game, when we have this whole, when we try to compete with each other on a physical level, there's always going to be somebody that has something we don't have. That's why you have to have more than just physical, because there's always going to be somebody that has something you don't have. That's why I advocate for women to absolutely have you. What are your thoughts like? What else do you bring to a table besides how you look? You can't be just pretty. Pretty is replaceable. Pretty is easy to replace. Pretty is easy to replace. What else? So anyway, that's besides the point. Let's go back to what I was saying. So again, a lot of times when I talk about the insecurity, when I'm talking about finding fulfillment and validation in relationships, why am I saying this? Because we're looking to people to make us happy, to make us feel secure, to make us feel these things. That is not that man's job, and it's not that woman's job to make you feel secure. You need to feel secure within you. This easily becomes a toxic relationship when you don't feel fulfilled, when you don't feel good enough, when you don't feel secure. It becomes very easily toxic because now I am seeking that and I'm creating this dependency on you to be something you should not be. It is not your job to be that for me. I need to be that for me. I need to be able to say to myself, Sam, you bad today, girl. Your man don't have to tell you a thing. You look good today. Your body looking right. I need to be able to say that to me. Because he might not have the capacity to do that day. And there might be a day where I have to sow into him. Maybe he doesn't feel good enough. But if I'm so consumed with self, or he's so consumed with self, we can't meet each other's needs. That's why it's very important for you to understand. Number one, I know I'm only on number one. I apologize for that. I'm going to get to 2 and 3. I'm going to get to 2 and 3. One had a lot of like A, B, and C, all the other things. Number one, it's not, marriage ain't about making you happy. It's not about making you feel secure. It's not about you. It's not about you. Marriage is not about you. That's what I didn't understand. It's not about you. It's about legacy. It's about what you're building. It's about covenant. It's about what you're doing before God. We make marriage about you and me. It's not about you and me. It's about God. It's about what God is doing on the planet. God created covenant. God created covenant. God honors covenant. That's why men that were married were blessed. He says, he who finds a wife finds favor with the Lord. Okay. Marriage is not about you and me. It's about legacy. It's about legacy. Okay. So we talked about that. Happiness, all the things, blah, blah, blah. Number two. I know I said a lot. Number one, y'all. Let me pause. Before I get into that, let me hear what everybody's saying here. I want to hear what you guys are saying. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me see the comments on both. So, quick tip. Forget bounty paper towels. Okay. No. So far, so good. Y'all got everything? I can read her palms. No, I don't do that now. Let the Lord do what he gonna do. What's this person saying? How do I work on insecurity? That's a great question. I love that question. That insecurity comes from you being sold on you. The only way that I got to a place of, because can I be real? I have been extremely insecure before. I mean, I still got insecurities, right? But I have been extremely insecure. Part of what helped me a little bit was getting into purpose. I felt better about myself because I was working in purpose. But number two, I work out a lot. I take care of myself. So with me working out, eating good, taking care of myself, like those things started to make me feel better about myself. So I think a lot of it goes into you taking good care of yourself. Because if you're not sold on you, you can't expect somebody else to be sold on you. There's so many women I meet, and it's not their fault. There's so many women I meet, there's a lot of insecurity. And then they man cheat. And I'm not saying it's their fault. It's not their fault. That man's decided to step out. But when you're always comparing yourself to other women and you're not sold on you and you're always making it seem like you're the lesser option, that man's going to start believing it because your words have power. He's going to start being like, maybe you aren't all that. Maybe you not this. Because what ends up happening is women that are super come off with this bravado are usually the least secure. When I got to say I'm the baddest thing moving, this, that, and the third, you're probably the least secure. I can smell that. When a woman doesn't have to speak about what she looked like or what she got going on, that's when I know she's secure. She doesn't need somebody to validate that for her. Right? So again, I think part of what my security came from was A, finding purpose, B, taking good care of myself. Outside of a relationship, it's a habit for me. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. I cook, I meal prep. I do what I haven't been the best with it here recently, but I still look small. I still look, but I take care of myself. And I think that's what that comes down to. I played soccer in high school and I did dance team. Sorry, somebody asked me a random question. I don't know why I asked that. Somebody says hard to love yourself. I know God loves you though. Don't forget my fiance passed. Every other relationship after that has failed. Well, K Ortiz, that means that there's something that we need to work on. And there's no disrespect. I went through years of therapy, right? Years. There is nothing wrong. Men, go to therapy. Get you somebody that you paying and they can't tell nobody your business. Go to therapy. Get healed. Heal. When you go through trauma, breakups, you lose somebody, heal. I believe in therapy. I mean, I believe in therapy. Heal. Somebody, okay. I'm not, okay. Are you, what happens? What happens when a woman, what happens when the other person brings up other men on purpose? That's insecurity. That's a red flag to me. That's a red flag. If my brother was telling me that a woman keeps bringing up other men, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Why do I have to know? Why are you telling me this? Why are you asking about? If you're not asking about other men, why are you telling me about other men? Is she trying to get you to commit? And so she's trying to make it seem like she's desirable? No. That's a red flag. Men know who, like, come on now. I'm sorry, y'all. Ladies, hear me out. Men know who got with, like, men know. They know, like, I know there's men in your DMs. Like, you know, they're not like, I know men talk to you. I haven't had to tell a man, oh, did you know who just wrote me? Yeah. I'm not saying a thing. I'm not bringing it up at all. I get asked the question. I'm not going to talk about it. I ain't going to, no. I get asked it though. So you dating with you? I know they be. I don't know. That's what I do. Nowadays, I don't do anything because I'm waiting on the Lord. But no, I like back then. I mean, you know, it's. Yeah, I mean, that's just what that is. I don't feel like you need to tell people what you got going on. If you've got motion, people know you got motion. Okay, so the next thing I want, we've kind of gone through the questions. So number 2, we talk about surprising lessons of love post divorce. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned about love, number 2, is that God does care about love. God is a matchmaker. God is a matchmaker. So one of the things I didn't know is that, okay, this was like a misconception. I had always thought that you just choose the best person for you. That's what I've always thought. I'm like, okay, I like this one the best, or this one makes the most sense for me. I did not know that God actually cares about helping you choose. He does have a best option for you. God does care. Can you hear me again? God does care about who you decide to marry. A lot of us choose people without consulting God about it first, and that is unwise. Or you consult God about it, and then you don't listen to him. When he starts throwing red flags on every play, you're still not listening. God does care. God does bring people together. God does care about who you decide to be with. God cares. How do I know? Because now I've been in this process with God. And let me tell you something. If a man looks at me, man writes me, and he is not who God wants for me to have, like, talk to or anything like that, I will have a dream that night. And it will be somebody like, man, you know, I can kind of see myself with this person, blah, blah, blah. I'll think about it. I won't say anything. I'll think about it. Oh, God here, he sees my thoughts. There's a friend of mine. She says to me, God don't even let your heart smile. My heart can't even smile at no man that ain't my husband. Like, I will get dreams. I will not be able to sleep that night. It will be non-stop. So I'm here to tell you, if you did not know already, When you invite God into your love journey, he will not let you settle for anything less than his best. So if you, anybody that wants God's best, ask God what his best is. You'll start having dreams. You'll start seeing visions of your woman. I've seen multiple stories where men will know, women will know, God will show you. You ask God, he will show you. But then once he gives you a little inkling, you've got to be obedient to his process. And that's where I'm at now. You've got to be obedient to his process. And at this point in my life, I'm obedient to his process. If we look back on it and we think about the people that we've been in relationships with, did God have anything to do with those people? Did he? Did he choose those people for you? God cares. I am here. I am so tired of people saying God don't care. God does care. God brings people together. It's undeniable. There's too many testimonies. God cares. God has your wife. God has your husband. But you've got to go through his process to become who he needs you to be before he gets you with that person. He's not going to send you to your wife when you going to break her heart. That's the best thing you can do right now is break her heart. The best thing you could do is take her to a restaurant right now. You can't do nothing else with her. He's not going to send you to her if all you're thinking about is what happened with your ex-wife. God is not going to do it. God is not going to send you to your husband when all you think about is what your ex-husband did. God is not going to do it. God absolutely cares about your relationship. He cares about, and if you have done it wrong before, there is always redemption in his plan. I don't care what anybody says. There's always redemption in God's plan. You surrender to his plan. In the Bible, it says, repent, turn away from your ways, and I will heal your land. He means that. He means that. God cares about who you marry. God cares. God cares. Look it up online, family. Look up, please look up the relation, like God put us together. Look it up. There's thousands upon thousands of them. There's men that be like, man, I saw my wife in a dream, and then 2 days later, I saw her out. Man, I saw my wife, and I went to her church, and now we married. I just saw with John Bevere. He said that when he started, there was a dream he had, the first dream he ever had from God. His wife was in the dream. He didn't meet that woman until a year later. God cares about who you marry. That's why people are getting dreams. That's why people get these signs and wonders. God cares about who you marry. God is a matchmaker. And if you allow him in the process, he will absolutely direct you to who is for you. What happens is we don't really trust God. We don't really trust God to bring us to our person. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this chicken real quick. Sorry, y'all. God cares about who you marry. Okay. And God is a matchmaker. And if you surrender to his process, the problem is a lot of people don't trust God enough. They don't trust God. They don't trust God. Thank you. So I see another support, y'all. Thank you, 0328 CTL. Thank you so much. What are you all talking about? Oh, it's not a spider, it's a bug. Y'all be scaring me. Y'all be scaring me. That wasn't a spider. She's daggone out, like where I live now, they got these little bugs that like are everywhere. And it's like a seasonal bug. I don't know what they look like lightning bugs, but they're like not lightning bugs. I don't know what they are. They get on my nerves. Okay. Just supporting and remember God fights our battles. No need for explaining. God wants to handle all the smoke. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you so much. And thank you, 0328 CTL. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you. Okay. Back to what I'm saying. Whew. Jesus, BFFs. They got these little, I don't know what these little bugs are. Okay. Sorry, wait, please, Mom. I'll call you. 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes. So here we go. Like I said, number 2, God cares about your relationship. God cares about who you marry. God cares about who you marry. God cares about who you marry. It is a myth that God doesn't care. He does. So I suggest if you, the first time, maybe you didn't choose correctly, maybe things didn't work out, and you feel that you are ready to start God's process, ask God about your wife. Ask God about your husband. The thing about God's process is he takes his time. And God doesn't waste time. So if he's taking time, it's because you need time. But when you surrender to his process, you will absolutely get the best result. God cares about your process. Y'all are killing me with this. Y'all are killing me with this. Okay. So, somebody say, Patriot of the Year. What's it say? You are so beautiful, sis. Thank you. Thank you. Who am I going to marry? Y'all, Cabo, you ask me every time about who I'm going to marry. Can you ask God? Let God tell you. Ask God. Ask God. And then tell me what God tell you. But again, I feel like I was taught years ago that God doesn't care who you marry. God doesn't tell you who to marry, he just tells you who not to marry. And that's not true. God has his best for you. What happens is today, family, is that a lot of us just say to ourselves, oh, I want this man and, I'm ready. And so I'm just going to get married. And then the marriage doesn't work out. And then we wondering what happened. The marriage didn't work out because you didn't wait on God's process. God knew you wasn't ready to get married. But it's a myth when we say to ourselves that God doesn't, why would God care about the job you work at, the kids, all these other things, but he don't care about who you marry? In God's economy, that's the single most important thing that you do is who you marry. Antoine says, I've been riding with you for a long time now, and I'm proud of your growth as a person in Christ. You're such a blessing. We'll always love and support you. Thank you, Antoine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Have I moved? Yes, I've moved. I'm in a new, that's why I'm unfamiliar with what goes on out here. Okay. So that's number 2, that God does care about our marriages. And before I get on to the number 3, where I can close this thing out, number 3,
Mom, is it fine if I don't eat the chips?
That's fine.
And I can for sure skip.
Mommy's gonna make some broccoli and a salad, okay? And I have more for you. I'm making chicken. All right. I want to see anybody. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts before I move on to number 3? She knows. I know what. What do I know? No, ma'am. Wait on me to we have to eat our vegetables first. You can have a piece of gum, but we're eating our vegetables. I gave you food. It's only been 45 minutes. Okay. No, it's really actually not a lot of minutes. Okay, so I don't really see any other questions here. Okay. Number three. Selfish people shouldn't get married. Well, there's actually 3 and 4. I'm going to do 3 and 4, but 4 is my lucky number, so I actually created 4. Selfish people should not get married. Why do I say that? Marriage is a sanctifying process, meaning that when I get married, as I said in the first one, it's not about me. And when you get married, it's not about you. It becomes about us. And what happens is a lot of people, they desire marriage, but they're selfish people. I want a wife, but I want a wife, but I'm not ready to be a husband. The idea of having a person for all of us, like as a woman, yes, I would love to have a man around me. I would love to there's testosterone around me. I would love that. Right? But does that mean I'm ready to be a wife because I desire that? No. There are men that desire wives that aren't husbands, and there's wives that desire husbands that aren't wives. A wife and a husband is a role. It is not about me. It's not about you. There are roles. A man, there's defined roles of what he is to do, and wives, there are defined roles of what you are to do. Now, each relationship may have its own variation of what that looks like. But what we have in our society is things are out of order. They are out of order. And that's why it's confusing. That's why the divorce rate's all over the place. Because again, it is out of order. Men play a role. And if I get women else, well, I can't submit to this man. Well, you shouldn't have married him. Why would I marry a man I can't submit to? If I haven't bought into this man's vision, if I haven't bought into this man's work ethic, if I haven't bought into this man's discipline, if I haven't bought into who this man is as a human being, then why did I marry him? Was it because he was the only one who was willing to marry me at the time? Maybe that's not a reflection of the fact that he's not good enough or whatever the case may be. It's more of a reflection of the fact that you didn't wait on God. You waited on when you thought you was ready. And I trust God so much that if I'm ready enough, he's going to send the man. When I'm ready, the man coming. When my man ready, again, it's not just about me. When the man ready and I'm ready, we're coming together. There's nothing that can stop it because it's God's process, right? It is God's process. If that man ready for me and I'm ready for him, God's going to make it happen. Whether we walk, the creator of the universe is not limited by anything. If I'm walking down the street right now, he going to pop up. If I'm going into a grocery store, he gonna somehow walk into that same grocery store. God will make it happen. I believe that the same God that can make a rock sing, that can make a donkey talk, that can turn water into wine, that can part a Red Sea, I think that same God can bring us together when it's time. I believe that. And I not only believe it, I've seen it done multiple times. I've seen it done more than multiple times. I've seen it done thousands of times. So for me personally, a lot of people, because they don't want to go through process, they just try to find a man that is good enough, but he's not from God. Or we just find a man that we do this bride fast, and the first man that wants to marry us, we think is our husband. No. Are you ready to be somebody's wife? That is a role. There's a reason why there's a process for it. I had to stop with my own stuff. I had things God had to deal with me about from childhood that I had to deal with. The fact that I don't like being vulnerable. The fact that I don't like, I don't like asking for help. I like being super self-sufficient. I like doing this. I like doing it. There's things that God has to break me out of in order for me to really understand what it meant to be a wife. He had to teach me, what does helpmate mean? Look it up in the Greek. Look it up in the Hebrew. What does that word mean, Sam? It's not this little role that you created in your mind. This is what a helpmate is. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because I did research on it. God had me in this time get me to understand that when I walk down that aisle again, you know your position. As a husband, it's not about you just having a wife. It's about what role do you play for your family. You're not just I pay the bills, man. That's not where God stops with you. You are the head of that household. You play the most important role. And I'm so happy to see that men are going back to God. I'm so happy to see men in the church. I'm so happy to see that, because there's so many things that God can do with you. But we want to get married. We're not ready to be husbands and wives. It's a role. It is a role. Just like I wouldn't try out to work as a computer tech. I know nothing about computers. I'm going to have to get trained in being in that field in order for me to play that position. If you want to play a sport, if you want to go here, you have to learn the role. You can't just jump into the role. You have to learn it. You go on a job, you got to be trained. It is part of life. We just think the only area we don't get trained in is how to be a husband and a wife. And that's one of the most important roles you're going to play. Husband, wife, mother, father. Most important role. We know nothing about that. We get trained for every other role, except for what we pass on to our next generation. And when you surrender to God's process, God trains you. And it's funny because I would run across people that would tell me, "Hey Sam, I'm a wife coach. Hey Sam, I started now. God want me around a whole bunch of married people. Why? Because God's like, I want you to see what it looked like. This is what a wife looks like. This is what a husband looked like. God has to sanctify us. God has to redeem us. If you covenant is what is missing in our world. We do not take it seriously enough. Marriage is important. Marriage is power. Marriage is power in a worldly sense. Marriage is powerful in a godly sense. And we are missing out. We're out here playing games, and we do not know how much time we have. Marriage is incredibly important. I want to get married again. I do. Why? Because God has absolutely taught me and shown me the importance of what it means to bring legacy into this world, to bring kingdom into this world. That's what's important. It's not about my masters. It's not about this or that. It's about legacy. We're so fixated on the wrong things, and God had to break me from those things. So yeah, it's a role. Being a wife is a role. Being a husband is a role. And if you do it God's way, God is not going to allow you to enter into anything until you're ready. Oh, thank you, 0328 CT1. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you for thank you for the support, King. I appreciate you, sir. Okay. So we talked about it being a role. The last thing I want to say, and I kind of said this before, so I'm not going to belabor the point on this one, is that desire does not equal readiness. Desire does not equal readiness. Just because I want a husband, you want a wife. Men, you should want a wife. We see too many men getting lost in the system, getting lost in the sauce because they lack discipline. They lack sexual discipline. They out here all over the place. They losing their careers or losing what they're building for themselves because they're messing with the wrong women. Guys, I want you to understand spiritual warfare is real. You do reap what you sow in this life. Get right with God. Get a wife. I'm sorry. This whole world is trying to tell you to go out and live your life and sow your seeds and spend your money and look what it's done to our men. Look at the men that we see in our world. A lot of them are, even the men that have a lot of options get married. Why do you think that is? It's powerful. Don't allow these content creators to get in your head and make you think that it's a lesser thing for a man to decide to be with one woman. That's strength. That's real strength. To say that there's women and I've got options and I choose one, that's strength. That's self-control. That's discipline. A weak man doesn't have no self-control. A weak man lacks sexual discipline, lays down with whatever looks good. That's weak. Women, the same thing. You out here having sneaky links, sleeping with different men. Oh, I'm just having a season. Oh, don't judge me. No, that's weakness. That's weakness. Women, we were not created to be out here sleeping around. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. We were not. We were made to be with one man. I can't wait to be with one man. That man who knows me and I know him and we know each other, and that's all we need to know. And we can have fun finding out who we all different variations of what that is. We can explore that together. I'm excited for that. I can't wait for that. And whoever my husband is, he's probably excited too. There's an excitement that I have about waiting for my husband. Not just being with whoever and have this long-term boyfriend living situation and we just what are we? We don't even know what we are. No, that's not kingdom, family. That's not kingdom. The world is trying to take marriage away. The enemy is trying to kill the family unit. Don't you see? Don't you see? The family unit's being put to death. Don't you see? Yes, man and woman in the house, but that's not your wife. What are you teaching? That's not covenant. That's not kingdom. Look at the Bible. It don't have nothing to do with that. The family unit's being put to death. We don't want to commit to nothing. Oh, commitment. Ooh. Commit. No, commitment's real. Commitment, that's what's lacking in our society. We don't want to commit to nothing. We don't want to be disciplined. We don't want to. Okay. Where is that? Where has that gotten us? I'm doing all this and I'm saying all this, family, because let me tell you something. I have a lot of reasons to say I don't want to walk down the aisle again. I don't want to wear a dress and say I do to somebody. I have a lot of reasons to say that, but I'm not going to say that. I want it. I want to be married again. I want to love again. I want to have a family with create a family with somebody. I want that. Why? Because God has shown me how sacred, how incredible, how beautiful his union is. And that I have an opportunity with him to create something that's kingdom. And I want to do that. God has shown me what purpose is through that. And I don't think we have enough people saying that. There's beauty in being a helpmate. There's beauty in being like helping a man get to, or helping him build, or helping him become, whatever that is, whatever role that God has for me. There's beauty in the legacy we build together. And it's not about me, and it's not about him either. It's about what God is going to do in and through what we build. It's a mission. Marriage is about mission. Marriage is about mission. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about mission. Are we committed to the mission? And family, I'm committed to the mission. And that mission is calling me back down an aisle. Okay, I'm committed to the mission. I'm committed to the mission. I'm not walking away from the mission. I don't want anybody to walk away from your mission, whatever that is, because it may not be marriage. Maybe you're called to be single. Seek the Lord about it. Talk to God about it. Allow God to minister to you. What's your mission? Who does he have for you? Surrender to his process. Let him bring the person that belongs to you, that he's perfectly orchestrated. They're not perfect, but you've been created for them, and they've been created for you. And again, family, this is about time. This is about also being clear with God, right? Because if you're not spending time with God, how do you know what God's telling you? Because some of y'all think, oh, I just had a dream about you last night. You were watching my content all day. That doesn't mean I'm your wife. If you're not spending time with God to really know what God is saying, that requires a life of consecration. Fasting, praying, seeking the Lord genuinely with an open heart, a neutral heart posture. So again, family, I want you guys to really consider this. I know I've given you guys a lot, but I really feel strongly about marriage. And even though there's things about love I've only learned through divorce. There's hard things I've learned. There's beautiful things I've learned, and it's changed me. It's marked me. It's made me a better human. And I hope you take from it. And there's other things I can talk about later if you guys want. But I'm trying to resurrect and help God resurrect, because God doesn't need my help, but resurrect what God originally intended when he created you and me, male and female. I'm trying to do that. All right. All right, family. Well, I love you guys. Thank you to Sam, us men on here. We'll be lying if we said we don't think you're beautiful, but some of us on here know what you have on the inside. Tips for handsome men. You stayed in this energy. God bless. Thank you. Yes, the closer you get with God, the more, I don't care who you are, male or female, the more you get with God, the more you want to get married. I'm not gonna lie to you. And because it's God's union, it's what he created. So the more time you get with God and you spend time with him, the more you want to get married. That's what happened to me. I was like, oh, this desire that came out of nowhere, and that was God. I mean, that was just God dealing, like, because I was not at that place, and spending time with him really made me come to that place. You know? All right, family. All right, family. Well, I love y'all. Thank you guys for tonight. Thank you guys for who supported the live. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will see you guys next week. Yes, next week. I'll be on at 5:30. my time, 8:30 your time, 5:30 my time, 8:30 your time. And yes, I hope you guys have a great evening. Good night.